hear Stephen A. say this is a move that elevates them to the #1 seed in the AFC. Do you agree?
They're good. This doesn't put them as the #1 seed in the AFC. I don't even have them as the #1 seed in their division because that is still a very difficult decision. We can get to more on that in a minute, but there's a lot to dissect with Denver. That's good, but I don't know if we're talking great. Let's start with this because it was a popular conversation about why Kansas City would take a step back last year, and it's going to translate to Denver as well. 11-2 in one-score games. 11-2 in one-score games last year with the Denver Broncos. Fantastic. That is not going to be something that's sustainable this year. Now, we can take that. We can move it over to the side. There are a few other things we can look at. Number two, we bashed New England up and down for how easy their schedule was last year. It was a key talking point heading into the Super Bowl. What we didn't talk about was Denver's schedule, which was #2 in ease behind New England. They're not going to get that this year with a first-place schedule coming out of the AFC West. On top of that, the run they made in the playoffs featured no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. The competition is going to rise up as well. Defensively, very good, but we saw them take a step back over the second half of the season. And then offensively, and this is the big piece, you go out and you get Jaylen Waddle, and I love the move. It's not a criticism of the move, but is Bo Nix good enough to take you to the promised land? Last year, 15th in QBR, 20th in completion percentage, and he did not push the ball down the field in terms of air yards or any metrics that measure deep shots. Waddle will help with that. But between quarterback play, which I still think can be a little inconsistent, a defense that is good but not elite, a schedule that's going to be much tougher, and some analytics like one-score games that's going to trend in the wrong direction, I wouldn't put him #1 in the AFC, wouldn't put him #1 in their own division.
Here's the thing that said, I find your take to be absolutely hilarious. So, in other words, so Patrick Mahomes and them missed the playoffs. Excuse me, why they missed the playoffs? Because they weren't good enough. The Chargers bowed out gracefully once the playoffs arrived. Why? Because they weren't good enough. The Baltimore Ravens didn't make the playoffs. Why? Because they weren't good enough. You understand? You start out 1-5. They didn't have anything to do with the Denver Broncos. Pittsburgh Steelers ain't good enough. Okay, Cincinnati Bengals ain't good enough. The New England Patriots, they came on strong or whatever. What happens to them? AFC Championship game. You win 10-7 going up against Jarrett Stidham. Okay, the only thing that looked first team, the only thing that looked all pro or all NFL, according to his standards, was his wife with that badass mink coat she was rocking. I mean, that was about it. Okay, I mean that's what showed up. This brother showed up there like he was Bo Nix because the wife represented. Give her props where she do. She looked like the wife of a starting quarterback in an AFC Championship game. She showed up. Okay, he did it. The bottom line is this: when you look at the Denver Broncos, the defense was still big time. It wasn't awful. It wasn't close to being average. It was a big time defense. They led everybody in sacks, had 11 more sacks than anybody else. Finished with 68, 4 shy of the all-time record. That defense is coming back. Everybody that played a down, that had a touch for the Denver Broncos offense is returning. Bo Nix, the same Bo Nix that you're talking about, that's a bit suspect at times. Didn't he have 7 game-winning drives? 7. So I'm looking at a cat that can ball at the quarterback spot. He's no scrub. I think we look at the Denver Broncos and say if Bo Nix was healthy, the Denver Broncos would have been in the Super Bowl instead of the New England Patriots. And then you go out and you still keep the quarters. You still got an R.J. Harvey. You still got a Dobbins. You still got these cats, okay? You still got Mims. And then you go out and you get Jaylen Waddle. I'm looking at the AFC. Maybe it's by default to some degree, Joe, and I understand that. But the point is, nobody really knocked our socks off. We looked at Houston. Their defense was elite. Their offense was shabby. We looked at Jacksonville. We needed to see it come postseason time. And guess what? They didn't show up. And the poor lady that working for the media was there, was giving the coach encouragement and got blasted for it. She deserved it because she didn't deserve that insult whatsoever. It was very, very nice of her. Very, very nice and sweet for her to do that for Coach Cohen. No doubt about that. But his team didn't step up. We look at the Indianapolis coach. You're getting Daniel Jones back. Am I supposed to write at home about that? Oh, my God, stop the presses. Daniel Jones is returning. There's a lot to worry about. Am I supposed to be worried about that? And I'm looking at the Buffalo Bills. You went out and you got DJ Moore. That's an upgrade. That's a plus. Who did they lose to in the postseason? They lost to the Denver Broncos. So I'm just saying, you could sit up there and look at the team and say they give you cause to pause and there's reasons to question them. But in the end, what it comes down to is that the #1 seed in the AFC with a 14-3 record, that is the Denver Broncos, have given you no reason to believe why they can't be the #1 seed again. That's the bottom line.
This was an eloquent takedown of every other team in the AFC right now. And you said something earlier that I wanted to circle back on in their own division. So in the AFC West, you say they're not even going to be division winners. Who is the division winner in the AFC
So
West?
I'll just put this out there to start. The odds makers in Vegas and beyond, and this is not me, this is them. They do this for a living. They have Denver as the third best team in the division, odds-wise. Season win total, where you can bet over, under a team's specific wins, they would be third. Kansas City's at 10.5. The Chargers are 10.5. Denver's 9.5. Go ahead.
Hold up. What did the odds makers have Denver at coming into the season?
You mean last year? Yeah, your point stands. Yeah, they were third best in the division last year. Yes.
I'm saying, did the odds makers have them as third best in the division?
Last year, yes, and this year, yes as well.
Oh, all right. So evidently the odds makers are at odds because they ain't always right. Right?
Yes. It's an excellent point. That is what happened last year. But now that we have another year of evidence, I would argue that we saw Denver perform so far above and beyond what everyone thought last year. Wouldn't we now be thinking like you are, that they should be the best in the division?
Whoa, Joe Fordball. See, this, I'm very, very disappointed that you haven't remembered. You don't have recall as to what makes me brilliant. I'm brilliant because I know I'm not. I listen to those who are. When it comes to the odds makers, who do I call, Joe?
You would call...
Tell our audience. Tell them. Who do I call?
Your boy right here. You call your boy right here.
There you go. I call you. So here's the deal. Joe Football told me that 2 years ago, they were the third-ranked team, according to the odds makers, in the AFC West. Then they had the 2 years to lean on, and they came back and put them in the same position again. So they were wrong again. Why am I listening to the odds makers? I ain't worried about them. The odds makers need to be listening to me right now. Denver is the team to beat in the AFC West. They're the team to beat in the AFC West. That's what they need to do because I got them the last 2 years. All right? They had their chances. 3 strikes, you're out.
There are several things he does very, very well. It's why he's at the top of the game. One of them, and it tends to fall underneath the radar, is the fact that he talked me right out of the ability to counter this last point. He knew how much time was left, and he kept going. He was articulate. He was eloquent. He was affable. And now we're all out of time, and I can't even come back on you on that one. Job well done, sir. Job well done. I'm learning on the fly here. You
can't come back because I basically let the world know I get my odds makers info from you. How you going to refute it? I'll get it from you.
Brilliant. He said it himself.
He's brilliant.
The East region is a gauntlet. What legendary coach is best suited to make it through to the Final Four? Plus, the madness tips off today, but where does it rank on the sports calendar? Not everyone here thinks it's the best sports day of the year. Those people are nuts. Fresh hour first day coming up.